All right, thanks, guys. Happy Monday to you. We're 7 and 2 in our last 9 board member package plays on patreon.com/Brock Page. We're also hitting at 71% in our last 8 NBA package plays on that website. Link for that site is in the description section below. That is patreon.com/Brock Page. All right, guys, we have ourselves just 2 games on the NHL slate tonight, so let's go ahead and begin. Starting with the Coyotes taking on the Capitals, 7 o'clock Nation's Capital. Washington's minus 185, total at 6. No movement on this total as of yet. We did see a 20-cent move toward Washington in the early wagering. The Caps open $1.65 up to minus 185. Totals at 6. 69% are leaning Capitals, 61% shaded toward the under. Right now, Arizona's plus 160 on the money line. Washington plus 135 on the puck line. We have Braden Holtby for the Caps, Darcy Kemper for Arizona. Now Kemper is 7-5-1 overall for the year. He comes into this game with a 2.00 goals against average and a 9.30 save percentage. Now Braden Holtby on the other side, he comes into this matchup with a 3.25 goals against average and an 8.98 save percentage. Washington has failed to cover the puck line in 4 out of their last 8 at home. Carl Hagelin is listed as questionable with an upper body injury. Now on the other side, Arizona ranks in the top 3 in goals allowed per game on average. They also rank in the top 5 in shots allowed on the road. They're 5-2-2 away from home this year. They're also 7-2 against the spread in that same category. Of course, when I refer to the spread, I'm referring to the puck line. So once again, Arizona 7-2 in their last 9 puck line plays away from home. They're led by Connor Garland, who's got 7 goals on the year, 3 assists, 10 points. Garland's also plus 7 on the season. Christian Dvorak, 6 goals on the year, 8 points for him. And Nick Schmaltz, 15 points total, 11 assists. Schmaltz is plus 8 on the season himself. Now, total-wise, Washington is 13-5 to the over on the season, 6-2 to the over at home. I'm going to lean toward the road dog in this one. Give me Arizona plus 1.5 for some puck line cash in the over 6 goals in that game. And before we go ahead and move on, just want to take another quick timeout and welcome you to the show. Got some lines of personal leans out for Monday's NHL action. But before we get into some more of that, I just want to quickly remind you once again to check me out on my website at patreon.com/Brock Page, where we are 7-2 in our last 9 board member package plays. We are also hitting at 71% in our last 8 NBA package plays. We do daily plays on that site, beginning at just $1.99 per month. We have a bunch of different memberships, tiers, and packages that you can subscribe to. And a lot of folks ask me, what's the difference between Patreon and YouTube? And I tell them, what we do on YouTube is we handicap every single game on the slate, both the side and the total. Well, if you were to do that in real life, if you were to bet on every single game, every side, every total, you'll never win money. You'll lose. You'll lose a lot of money. You can't win that way. The books are too smart. They're too good. The math is always against you, especially if you bet that way. So what we do on Patreon is we really narrow down and focus on 3 to 4 premium selections per day. They're selections that I personally have action on. And I'll tell you this much, my current record on Patreon is a lot better than it is on YouTube. And you can actually check out my current record for free right on the homepage. Just click the link in the description section below. That is patreon.com/Brock Page. All right, guys, let's go ahead and dive into this next and final game for the show. It is going to be the Senators taking on the Hurricanes. 7 o'clock Eastern puck drop in Carolina. The Hurricanes are minus 240, total 6.5. We saw a 10-cent fade of Carolina, no movement on the total as of yet. The Hurricanes open 250, down to minus 240, total 6.5. 67% are leaning Hurricanes, 71% shaded toward the under. Right now, the Senators are plus 200 on the money line. Carolina plus 105 on the puck line. We have Peter Mrazek for the Canes, Anders Nilsson for the Senators. Now, if you like Peter Mrazek in this matchup here for Carolina, he's 7-3-2 on the year with a 2.56 goals against and a 9.04 save percentage. Carolina 6-3 straight up at home this year. They rank in the top 5 in offensive shots at home, top 10 in home scoring. They're led by Eric Haula, who's got 8 goals on the year, 11 points. Hamilton and Svechnikov have 7 goals apiece as well for the Hurricanes. And Teravainen, 10 assists, 14 points for him. Now on the other side for Ottawa, they're really struggling away from home this year. Just 1-5-1 away from home, 3-4 against the spread in that same category. They're in 7th place in the Atlantic Division, and they are 12 points back of first place in that division. Ottawa ranks in the bottom 10 in scoring, bottom 3 in shots allowed. When it comes to the scoring, Ottawa's 4-3 to the over away from home. Carolina 5-4 to the over in the friendly confines. I'm going to make a very square, kind of chalky lean here. Give me Carolina minus 1.5 and the over 6.5 in that game. All right, guys, let's go ahead and slide into our quick pick recap brought to you by patreon.com/BrockPage. I like Carolina minus 1.5 over 6.5 and Arizona plus 1.5 over 6 goals. All right, let's go ahead and slide into our shout-outs, once again brought to you by patreon.com/BrockPage. Shout out to Nathan Woosley, Brian Williams, 446-3013. Shout out to Vernon Williard, Layla W., Drew Churchill, Ronnie Christie, Jomi the Money, Berkosi DeBelli, Shotgun Shell 80, 201 Lifestyle, Calico Jones, and last but certainly not least, Square 707 Steam PS4. And that's all one name. All right, guys, that's going to do it for me. Once again, don't forget to check me out on Patreon, where we are 7-2 in our last 9 board member package plays, 71% in our last 8 NBA package plays on that site. We do daily plays on that site, beginning at just $1.99 per month. We also have a bunch of different memberships, tiers, and packages that you can subscribe to. A lot of folks ask me what's the difference between YouTube and Patreon. YouTube, we handicap every single game on the board, slate, side, total, everything. Well, if you bet that way in real life, you will lose, guaranteed. You cannot beat the math or the books. So what we do on Patreon is we really focus, dial it down, and focus on 3 to 4 premium selections per day. Those are my personal plays, games that I personally have action on. And my current record on Patreon is a lot better than it is on YouTube. You can actually check that current record for free right on the homepage. That is patreon.com/BrockPage. All right, guys, let's go ahead and slide into this college basketball slate. And we are going to begin with the Drake Bulldogs taking on Cincinnati. And that's going to be a 7 o'clock Eastern tip-off at the Fifth Third Arena. Now, Cincinnati's minus 12.5, totals 141 and a hook. We saw a half a point fade of Cincinnati and movement upward on the total. The Bearcats open 13 down to 12.5. Total open 139 up to 141.5. 62% are leaning Cincinnati. 66% shaded toward the under. Right now, Drake is plus 720 on the money line. Drake is 1-0 straight up on the year, 1-0 against the spread. They beat Kennesaw State 86-55 in their season opener. They're led by DJ Wilkins, who scored 19 points in that game, 4 rebounds, 4 assists. Junior Jonah Jackson, 15 points in that game as well. And senior Anthony Murphy brought down 7 rebounds, 11 points, 2 assists in that game. Cincinnati, on the other side, they lost 64-56 in their opener against Ohio State. It's going to put them at 0-1 straight up on the year. They actually failed to cover the point spread in that game as well. Trevor Moore and Prince Toyambi are listed as out indefinitely for Cincinnati. And when it comes to this total, both teams open the year at 1-0 to the under. So with all that in mind, I'm going to purchase the half a point, buy it up, and take the Bulldogs of Drake plus 13 and the under 141.5 in that game. Next matchup, not on our board here, but it's going to be Kent State taking on the Towson Tigers, 7 o'clock SECU Arena. Towson's minus 1.5 at home, total 140 and a hook. We did see a flip of the lines in this one as Towson opened as the 1-point dog. The total opened at 141. We saw steady movement toward Towson and movement downward on the total. The Tigers open plus 1, now minus 1.5. Total open 141, down to 140 and a hook. 55% are leaning Towson, and 78% shaded toward the under. Right now, Kent State is plus 105 on the money line. Now, Towson is 2-0 straight up on the year, 1-0 against the spread. They're led by Nigel Halton, who has 17 points and 3 rebounds. He played in 1 game this year. Jawan Gray is averaging 15 points and 7 rebounds in 2 games. And freshman Charles Thompson, 12 rebounds and 7 points a game for him on average. I'm going to purchase the half a point, slide it down, and take Towson minus 1 and the over 140.5 in that game. All right, next matchup. Once again, that's another one that is not on our big board here. But anyway, it is going to be Elon taking on Georgia Tech. And and that'll be a 7:30 Eastern tip-off at the McCamish Pavilion. Now, the Yellow Jackets are minus 22, totals at 144. We did see a half a point fade of the Yellow Jackets and movement upward on